Alright people, welcome back to BLATANCY. My name is Kumiv. Lucky is not here today. He's preparing for his fight at 67 kgs in kickboxing. He's gonna do alright, you know. But we're not here to talk about Lucky today. We're here to talk about the fight that went down today. The fights that went down today. There was quite a few, honestly. We had Ryan Garcia fighting Tank Davis, Sergei Pavlovich, and Curtis Blaydes. What else? We have Bobby Green and Jared Gordon that ended in no contest. Yeah, a lot to do. And if you are new, which most of you generally are, just, you know, subscribe. It'll be nice. We're at 200, but imagine if that was 300. Oof, that would be nice. That'd be really nice. But yeah, okay, let's talk about. It's so weird. I feel so weird talking to myself, but you know, the show gotta keep going. You know. Now, okay, let's talk about Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. I look like a fucking idiot because I really thought Ryan Garcia was gonna stop Gervonta Davis, but it didn't turn out that way at all. It kind of, you know, look. I feel like eventually, if Gervonta didn't catch Ryan with that body, it was like a straight jab almost. It's not even a hook. It was like a jab to the body, like a straight right for Gervonta because he's a southpaw. Or was it a left? I actually can't remember now. Shit. But the way oh man, it's just so great the way he knocked him. He's so good, man. It just shows there's levels to this, and Gervonta was on another level. Like for real, he was just on another level. Honestly, like I was pretty confident in Ryan Garcia. I was like, he'd been calling for this fight. He wanted the fight. He was asking for it. I just felt like he knew something we didn't. You know, like I felt like he had something to prove, and it started out nice. Honestly, like Ryan was showing not much punches from Gervonta at the start. Gervonta was just circling around, moving around, and Ryan was like flashing that jab, that pop, like he was throwing that jab. It was nice. And yeah, and then round two starts. Ryan kind of pushed forward. Ryan had that pressure. He was coming forward. He was really trying to get Gervonta out of there. But yeah, as you would expect from Gervonta, Gervonta had a perfect counter left. Boom! Drops Ryan, and yeah, from then on, it was just kind of. I mean, Ryan didn't get startled much from that. He got back up immediately. Like that fighting mana kicked in, and he just came up. He went for it. He kept the forward pressure, kept Gervonta on his back foot. But yeah, I'm not a boxing expert, so I feel like a lot of things they were doing just went over my head. I obviously don't fully understand the sweet science of boxing. But from what I saw, it looked like Ryan was trying to set everything up from his jab, and he was jabbing a lot. And he kind of, from my point of view, it looked like Ryan got a little bit predictable in a way, right? Because he would throw the jab, he would try and pressure forward, throw the jab, jab to the body. Ryan's body hooks were landing. Well, you know, I think it landed like twice throughout, 2-3 times throughout the whole fight. But man, oh fuck. Honestly, I mean, he just hats off to Gervonta, right? Gervonta did what he had to do, and he was able to just pull off that win. It was just awesome, honestly, to see. Like they call him the face of boxing now. I mean, when people say that, I'm just like, okay, hold up, relax, okay? They say face of boxing like Canelo doesn't exist, like Tyson Fury is not there. Like, I mean, okay, hold up. Tyson Fury, great fighter. Fighting shitty fights so far, right? His last 2 fights were not that great. We obviously want to see Tyson Fury fight Usyk, right? Usyk or even Anthony Joshua. I know Anthony Joshua like kind of sucks right now. He's just been on a you know, he's building back up. He lost to Usyk twice, and he's coming back up. But that Tyson Fury fight is still there. I feel like it's still exciting. I'd still watch it. I'd pay. You know, I would never illegally stream that fight. You know, I would definitely pay for that fight. But but anyway, circling back to Gervonta, face of boxing, I don't know, but definitely a big star in boxing for sure, right? For sure, he is definitely a big name now in boxing. He's been a big name, but I mean, you got guys like Tevin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Errol Spence. Even though Errol Spence and them, they're a bit up there in age. Errol Spence, T-Bud, Terrence Crawford, you know, the guys are still there. But what's next for Gervonta? Honestly, I don't know because I don't keep up with boxing like that, so I don't know what is next for Gervonta or Ryan. But it'll be... I don't think Ryan's stock goes down from here, even though, yeah, he got caught with a sweet body shot and he dropped. But I don't think Ryan's... Yeah, I think Ryan's still that guy. He's still a star, and he showed good boxing skills. But man, Gervonta was just levels above him. It was quite good to see, man. Like it was exciting. Like overall, good fight and entertaining fight. Like the prelim fights for this card, it wasn't great. Like I was just bored watching all the prelim. I mean, the co-main event was good. You know, first round KO was nice. But other than that, all the other fights were just pretty, I don't know. It wasn't exciting. So it was nice to see that the main event kind of delivered. You know, like I feel like round 2 was nice for Ryan had moments, and that moments that he had was very exciting. Well, I don't know. Maybe I was just biased because I was rooting for Ryan, but Ryan had good moments in that fight, and it was just like, yes, get him, get him. But you know, he obviously couldn't. Tank is just that guy, man. Fuck, it's crazy. I really wanted to see him lose. I don't know why, but I think I'm on the tank train now for sure. I'm not gonna bet against him from now on. He's definitely that guy, 100%. It would be cool. I mean, I don't know what the weight classes are. I'm pretty sure that Devin Haney is above. Devin Haney is one weight class above Tank. But it would be nice to see if Devin Haney and Tank go head to head. That would be a great fight. And if they fight, I'm definitely picking against Tank because I mean Devin Haney is that guy. When Devin fought George Kambosos, I fully believed George Kambosos was gonna beat Devin Haney. And again, as usual, I look like a fucking idiot betting against the guys. But yeah, Devin was just that man, honestly. Yeah, it's great. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about Lucky Kiing. All right, let's give him some shine a little bit. Lucky's not here today because he's fighting. He's preparing for his fight. He has conditioning training. I'm recording this on Sunday, the 23rd of April, and Lucky has conditioning training on this day, and he can't make the podcast obviously because his training starts at what 3, 4 or something like that. But he's fighting at 67 kgs on May 26th, so he's about 4 weeks. Yeah, he's literally just about 4 or 5 weeks out from his fight. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. As far as I'm aware, it might be, if you're in New Zealand watching, which, you know, you probably are because most of you are just my friends that are watching. But Lucky will be fighting at Strikeforce Gym. Well, I think it's at the Strikeforce Gym down in Avondale. He'll be fighting at kickboxing, 67 kgs. Let's go, Lucky Kiing. I was watching Lucky spar yesterday. Man, oh, fuck, Lucky is on. Lucky is on. Like, he was sparring some of the guys. Like, he was piecing up one of these guys. I don't know if that guy was... I don't know. One of the guys Lucky was sparring was just really not... I don't know, yeah. I mean, we shouldn't talk about sparring, but it was good. It was good to see Lucky do his thing, and I know for sure Lucky's going to fuck up whoever he fights, because, yeah. Just seeing the way Lucky moves, the way he sets traps, and... the way he follows up, man, Lucky's a combination king at this point. You know, honestly, with his first fight, when we watched Lucky's first fight, he really was just keeping Mitchell, the guy he fought, keeping him away with the jab. But this time around, when I see Lucky sparring, you can see Lucky just lets combos go, man. He mixes it up so well, especially with the hands. He just combination king, man. It's amazing to see. Well, that's enough for Lucky Kiing. Fuck Lucky Kiing. No, I'm kidding. Sergei Pavlovich, right? Now let's talk about UFC now, okay? Sergei Pavlovich knocks out Curtis Blaydes. Who didn't see that coming? Everybody saw that coming, okay? Everyone knew that was going to happen. I mean, okay, let me backtrack. When they were building up the fight, I was like, okay, Curtis Blaydes is obviously a step above most of the competition. No, not really, actually. He fought Ty, But anyways, Curtis Blaydes is more of a trickier fighter for Sergei, because you know Curtis is light on the feet. Curtis moves well. He's got decent hands, and he's a great wrestler. So I thought, okay, I still believe that Sergei Pavlovich was gonna win, but I really thought that it would be a tough fight. We might see Sergei make it to round 2. You know, that's what I thought. But as the fight got closer and closer, and I just kept seeing the highlights on Instagram and just seeing Sergei fuck up Ty. So I feel so bad for that. He just battered Ty. He battered Derek Lewis. Like, man, he just knocks out everybody. Like, and then yeah, from then on I was like, yeah, you know what, Curtis Blaydes, he might be out in the first round. But yeah, it was not nice. Not nice to see Curtis Blaydes go out like that, because I feel bad for Curtis as well, because I feel he fights, he wins, he beats everyone. Well, technically he didn't beat Tom Aspinall, but he, you know, it's a win on his end anyways. Yeah, fuck. It would have been great to see Tom Aspinall go against Sergei Pavlovich, because that would have been a fight. That would have been a fight. Tom Aspinall is a complete fighter, like world championship level fighter. And yeah, we would have got to see Sergei go through some adversity. But who's next for Sergei? I wonder who's next in the heavyweight division. Let me actually pull up the heavyweight rankings. But bro, Sergei, what a fucking beast, man. I don't even know. He's like Ngannou. He's like the white Ngannou, right? Oh man, it's just amazing to see. Okay, that's the pound for pound, blah, 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 blah. Heavyweight, it's crazy to see John Jones is the heavyweight champion of the world. Whoa, okay, Sergei Pavlovich is number 3 in the heavyweight rankings. And then number 2 is Stipe, and number 1 is Cyril Gane. It makes the most sense right now. Sergei Pavlovich versus Cyril Gane. That will be fucking epic. And that fight, you know for a fact Sergei will make it to round 2. He will make it to round 2. Cyril Gane is light on the feet. Cyril Gane circles around. Cyril moves a lot. Cyril touches you from outside. When you come in, he circles out. Like, Cyril is technical. I know John Jones made him look like a fucking, like he sucks. But Cyril Gane is that guy. He's definitely that guy. If John Jones wasn't there, he's the champ. He's the champ. Well, okay. If John Jones and Ngannou isn't there, he's the champ. But yeah, okay. Sergei Pavlovich, he's that guy. Where is belt? Where is my belt? That's what he was saying in the cage. But yeah, Sergei is that guy. Anyways, moving on. Blah blah blah. Most of these fights are boring. I want to talk about Bobby Green and Jared Gordon, but okay, whatever. That fight ended in a no contest headbutt. Great, whatever. Junior Tafa and Mohammad Usman. Words can't describe how much I dislike Mohammad Usman's fighting style. It's so lame, bro. Like, fuck, man. Honestly, I get it why he did what he did, because Junior was piecing him up on the feet. But, man, he's like the world hugging championship of the fuck. He's the best at laying on you. That's his fighting style, like Jorge Masvidal would say, crotch sniffers. That's what he does, man. Like, Junior's, oh man, I'm sure he needs to work on the wrestling, but Junior was so close to getting him out of there. It would have been awesome to see Junior get that win, man, but also props to Mohammad Usman, like, he was able to walk away with the win. And a win's a win at the end of the day in UFC. A win's a win, It keeps your momentum going. It keeps you going up in the rankings. And a win's a win. So can't say much about that. I don't have much to talk about today, so I'm just going to talk about nothing, basically. But yesterday, Dana White announced so many great fights. And one of them is Robert Whittaker versus Driscus du Plessis at UFC 290 International Fight Week. Listen, come here. That fight is fucking epic. You know why? Because Driscus is not winning that fight. Driscus is not going to win that fight. We all know this. This is just, you know what it is? It's just to give Rob a payday. That's all it is. Rob likes fighting multiple times a year, so it's just to give Rob a payday. Like, I am 100% doubting. I'm 100% doubting Driscus du Plessis. He's not winning that fight. There is absolutely no way he wins that fight. I feel like by round 2, he's gonna get fucked up by Rob. Rob's that guy. Rob's 100% that guy. And yeah, he's not making it out of that fight. And you know, because Dana White said, the winner of that fight is fighting Adesanya, I should say, in Sydney, Australia by the end of this year. So you already know, they're setting up Sydney, Australia. Rob is Australian. They're already setting up the biggest fight they can make. It's going to be in Marvel Stadium, Sydney. Oh, is Marvel Stadium in Melbourne? I think Marvel Stadium's in Melbourne. I don't know. Melbourne, as they like to say. Melbourne. But you already know. Because even the UFC knows Robert Whittaker is going to beat Driscus du Plessis. Driscus is not going to win this fight. He sucks. He sucks big time. He almost got knocked out by Derek Brunson. No disrespect to Derek Brunson. Great fighter. He was on a 5-fight winning streak. But Derek Brunson doesn't have hands like that. And he almost knocked out Driscus du Plessis. So that should just tell you that Robert Whittaker, the way he just, lunges in forward and oh man, it's Rob's just a fucking intelligent fighter. And Robert Whittaker is just gonna Izzy's gonna be mad. Izzy's gonna be really, really, really mad because Robert Whittaker is gonna take away Driscus du Plessis, and Izzy wants Driscus du Plessis. He just, like he said, he wants to drag his carcass out across South Africa. But that's not gonna happen because Robert Whittaker is gonna smash. He's gonna fuck up. Listen close. He's gonna fuck up Driscus du Plessis because Driscus is not making out of that fight. I feel like I'm going in circles, keep saying the same thing, but I just can't wait. I can't wait to see, because I dislike Driscus so much. It's just going to be so exciting to see Robert Whittaker fuck him up big time, batter him, send him back down the rankings. And yeah, and then even though I feel like we've kind of seen enough of this fight, they're obviously going to make Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya next in Sydney, Australia. I will be there. 100% I will book my tickets, flights, hotels, whatever the fuck I need to, and I'll be there live to watch that fight. I know Lucky probably will go with me as well. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. And early prediction for Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya. I think Robert Whittaker will find a way to have a better performance, but he'll still lose that fight. So I just feel like some fighters just have each other's number. And I know that's such a stupid thing to say because everyone was saying that for Izzy when he was fighting Pereira. And look what Izzy did. Izzy just fucked him up big time with the bow and arrows and everything. But yeah, I just think watching that second fight, right, with Robert Whittaker, the one thing that I noticed the most and the one thing that stuck out to me the most is Rob finds it so difficult to bridge the gap between him and Izzy. Like, he has to like kind of jump in, and a lot of his strikes were missing, and that's how Izzy counters him a lot. And he did get Izzy down once. He got Izzy's back in the fight, and it was a close fight. But I feel like if they fight the third time, Izzy's gonna seal it, done. Just like how Volk shut out Max Holloway in the third fight. There's just no questions. Nobody wants to see Max Holloway and Volk fight the fourth time. I feel like it's gonna be the same with Izzy and Rob, just because. Just it's also momentum, right? Izzy's now riding this wave of this energy that you get, this momentum that you get when you knock out this, like someone like Pereira. When you sleep someone like Pereira, I feel like you just get that little extra confidence. And like I think it was Leon Edwards' coach that said, once you win the belt, you get 30% extra confidence. But when you win that belt twice, ooh, that's a lot of confidence you'll get back. So I think Izzy will just beat him again. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. And it's cool that they're bringing it back to Sydney because they know that's where the ticket sales are. And yeah, they sold out the stadium big time the last time around. It was pretty cool. What else can we talk about? Oh, Dan Hooker is fighting Jalin Turner. It's finally happening again. They were supposed to fight the last time around on the John Jones pay-per-view, when John Jones was fighting Cyril Gane, but Dan broke his finger or his hand. I'm pretty sure it was his finger, right? He kind of fell back when someone was taking him down or something, and he kind of just smashed his finger. And in the meantime, Dan just started covering himself up with tattoos. It's kind of cool to see. You know, Dan's got 2 calf tattoos. I think it's some sort of a New Zealand tradition type of tattoo, traditional tattoo. And then he's got his back covered as well. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. And, you know, while recovery, because that's the only time you get to recover, right? Because when you get tattoos, you need to like sit and let it recover for months or weeks, at least 2 weeks before you can start sweating. And you know, especially if you're going to wrestle and shit like that, and you're going to have people grabbing you and stuff, and your back rubbing against things. You want the skin to really recover. But yeah, it's cool to see. And Jalin Turner, it's not going to be an easy fight for Dan, honestly. Obviously, I'm from City Kickboxing. Represent all the way. You already know. But I don't think Dan is going to have an easy fight against Jalin Turner. Jalin is such a really technical fighter. It was so good. The only reason he lost that fight to Gamrot the last time around, and Gamrot stepped in short notice as well. And the only reason, not the only reason, but he kind of got out-wrestled, right? He got out-muscled in that fight, and it was pretty obvious that Gamrot won that fight. This time around with Dan's a tough guy, man. Dan's a really, 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 really tough guy. And Dan's he just brings it. He brings it. I know he didn't look too good that last time when he fought Arnold Allen, but he was cutting a lot of weight. Dan was like as skinny as anyone has ever seen him. So yeah, fuck. Honestly, there is no way I'm picking against Dan, because Dan's just that motherfucking guy, right? Don't how much you can't kill, baby. Let's go. But you know, Dan Hooker is gonna win that fight, and it'll be sick. I mean, look what Dan did to Claudio Puelles. That fight was fucking incredible, man. That moment, I always post whenever I come across that knockout on Instagram. I'll always put it on my story, because it's so beautiful to watch. Because Dan kind of you know, fakes the right hand, and then he hit his back teep, boom, like his body kick. It was like a front kick straight to the body, and you see Claudio Puelles break. It was just beautiful to watch. He kind of got kicked and he went, oof, and he just fell down, and he kind of was like, fuck, I'm done, and they stopped the fight. It's just perfect. Yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. I don't really have much to talk. I've probably only spoke for like 10 minutes. You know, this episode is really, really small, but I have to do something, because if not, the YouTube gods, you know, wouldn't appreciate it. But a lot of I wonder what fights are next week. Let's look up what fights are next week on UFC. Oh, typo right there. Song YaDong and Ricky Simon. That's gonna be an incredible fight. I don't know much about Ricky Simon. I know the name, but I don't know much about him. But one person I do know is Song YaDong, and that guy, he is tough. He is one tough motherfucker, man. He's really tough. And he's good. That fight he had with Corey Sandhagen was really, really brutal, man. I think it was a doctor stoppage because his eye was fucked or something like that. But if he didn't have that cut, I feel like Corey would have been in trouble. Although Corey obviously was beating him, but, you know, he had a cut above his head that kind of fucked it up for him. But anyways, you know what? Before I end the podcast, let me talk about my fight. All right, I'm fighting. I've never actually spoke about it much, because why the fuck would I? But now that, you know, Lucky's not here, and it's kind of like an awkward episode because I'm talking by myself in my studio. But I want to talk about my fight. I'm fighting in July. Let me see if it's recording. Yeah, I might be fighting either July 7th or July 8th in amateur MMA. I'm doing like this thing called the Altas. It's like basic as MMA, but what it is they put you in a camp for 20 weeks where you learn grappling, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a little bit of defense, whatever not, striking a little bit, you start sparring, you start, you know, MMA sparring, boxing sparring, whatever. And leading up all the way to the 20th week is your fight week, and then you fight at the end. And it's going to be great. And I think I'm on I probably have about 12 weeks to go. And I'm feeling really good, man. I'm feeling really, really good about the way I'm performing in terms of the wrestling, in terms of my ability to defend a lot of the wrestling. I feel like I do very well when I'm on top. But even when I'm at the bottom, when I get dropped, when I'm like on my back and someone's on top of me, I feel like I do very well in terms of controlling, making. I don't want to give too much away of what I do, but I make it difficult for them. You know, I don't just do the frame, and I make it a bit of a challenge for someone to kind of outmuscle me in a way. Like I'm constantly giving them something to worry about. And it's kind of the same situation when I'm on top as well. When I get top position and I'm on top and I'm controlling you from the top, I'm not this, and I can put it out there, this doesn't bother me. I'm not the most smartest when it comes to submissions. You know, I only know the basic few. But in terms of control time, I can rake that shit up like nothing. Like whenever I wrestle someone within my weight, I'm always pretty dominant. Like I'm always in positions that are good. You know, good scrambles, good positioning, and I do well. I do all right. You know, I'm confident. I wouldn't say I'm excellent, but I'm confident in what I can do. And in terms of striking as well, I've been learning quite a bit. I train with Navajo as well on the side, and he gives me pointers on certain things, footworks, and I feel like the last session I had with Navajo Sterling, I learned a lot in terms of footwork. I feel like it kind of helps. What he showed me really helped me understand how to maintain positioning and maintain control of the cage or control of your fight environment. And I'm drilling it a lot, honestly. Like, and that's the best part about training with guys like Navajo or getting just like one-on-one sessions, because I feel like my character is I'm like the stupid guy that I listen to everything the coach says. Whatever they tell me to do, I do it. Like I do innovate and I do add my own thing, but I put my trust in whatever the coach says. So yeah, the way he was teaching me to basically control the opponent. Don't let him cut out, you know, don't let him cut angles. Don't keep him where you want him to be, you know, keep your opponent where you want him to be. And then yeah, it was good. It was a really good session and good striking as well that we kind of did. But for me, the most I took away from the last training session I had with Navajo was the footwork. It was awesome. It's just those little pointers. Like sometimes when you're training, when you hit bags or when you hit whatever, like you just kind of just go and you just do your thing, right? But then you don't really learn. No, you do learn, but you don't really learn at a rapid rate. It takes time for you to understand that, oh shit, you know, I was actually doing this wrong. Maybe I should actually do this, and this is much better. But then when you have a personal trainer or when you have someone pointing it out to you what needs to be done, instead of you wasting all that time to finally figure out the right way to do it, they kind of just point it out. Hey, you're doing that, and that's not the best thing to do. You should probably do this. This is the best thing to do. And you do it, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. And it's always like that. It's always like that. When we train with Eugene as well, Eugene Behrman, it's always like that. Certain things we do, like he will teach us a drill. We will do it, and then midway through the drill, he'll say, all right, guys, stop. I can see that a lot of you guys are doing this. Instead of doing that, how about you do this? And then we do it, and we're like, oh, fuck, that makes a lot of sense. And that's the best part about having some of the best coaches from City Kickboxing trainers. And I kind of went on a rant there, but what I'm trying to say is I'm going to win my fucking fight. I'm 100% going to win my fight. I already won my fight. Like, I just can't wait for everyone to come and see. I got a lot of friends that are interested in coming, family interested in coming to watch. I can't wait to put on a show. I've never done anything where I put on a show for anybody like that. So I'm very excited. No nerves, no nothing. At least as of now, I have no nerves. It's just pure confidence. It's always just been pure confidence. Like, I feel zero fear, zero intimidation, and especially knowing that when I spar, wrestle, whatever, with people my weight, I always feel like I do so well. And the best part about my training is I can choose who I want to train with, and I always, when it comes to wrestling, I tend to want to wrestle the bigger guys just so I get used to that power, that extra power. And when I start heavy sparring as we get closer to the fight, I'm gonna spar the lighter guys. I think, and this just might be my stupid analysis, but I feel like when you spar the lighter guys, it's much more tough because they're so fast. They're so fast. They're so light on their feet. They got great head movement. There's one of these guys, Zealand. He trains with us, and fuck, I remember we were doing like a boxing drill, right? We were just doing jabs and cross, jab, cross, and it was our, like, so it was one person's the offense, one person's the defense. And when Zealand was doing the offense on me, and I had to defend, he was so slick with it. Like, I was getting hit so much. Like, I was trying to slip the punches, pull, and all that. He's so fast and he's so good. So when we start heavy sparring, I'm gonna look for Zealand. Like, I want him to come and spar with me because I know the lighter guys are gonna be faster, slicker. They're gonna move. They're gonna train me to hunt, train me to keep my defense up, keep my guard up, and also, you know, just get better all around. And I also want to train with the bigger guys because when they crack, they're gonna hit you with the power, and you're just gonna get you. At the end of the day, I feel like sparring is just conditioning you and preparing you for a fight, right? Because it is just basically a fight simulation in a way. And so I want to mix it up. You know, I feel like right now I've fallen into a trap where I'm kind of training with one person for the most part, but it's good because we get working, we get good working. But when we start sparring properly, like full on sparring, I'm gonna mix it up. I want to some days spar the lighter guys, some days find the big guys, the big powerful guys to train with, and I want to mix it up. I just want to accumulate everything I can, and I just want to ramp up the engine, right? Rev up the engine, rev it up all the way till fight night comes. My fucking RPM is just boosting, firing all cylinders, ready to go, ready to crack someone in the head. And the gloves we got 8 ounce MMA gloves. It's obviously amateur, so we're not gonna get 4 ounce MMA gloves, right? But 8 ounce MMA gloves, and that shit cracks, man. Honestly, that's fucking beautiful. Mwah. That's like, that 8 ounce gloves is literally professional boxing gloves, right? Like when you see Floyd Mayweather fight and shit like that, they fight an 8 ounce. And my first MMA fight ever, we're doing 8 ounce gloves. So like, I'm basically doing, you know, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be great. And if one thing I learned watching Lucky spar is combinations. Commit to your punches and throw them, especially in the amateurs. I'm fighting an amateur fighter as well. That guy doesn't know how to fight. Well, hasn't had, maybe had one fight before, maybe his first fight ever, just like me. So I feel like if you commit to punches and if you really just fucking bite your mouthpiece and just go at it and just throw at someone, you'll get the win. You will 100% get the dub. Like, I have to know, I have to just not fear getting hit. And that's one thing that I gotta train. And if I might be giving it away, and not really giving away anything, right? No one's watching this. But if one thing I have to do when I'm fighting is bite that mouthpiece, just go forward and crack someone, and yeah, be technical. I feel like I am very technical, and that might be a downfall for me as well. Like, I try to be too technical. I try to pick my shots too much. Sometimes I feel like I just gotta, you know, especially with this fight, it's only 3 rounds. You know, it's amateurs. So like, I can't waste a round trying to be all technical. I kind of have to just go in there and get the job done in a way. And it'd be sweet if I get a knockout, but even it just be, when I train for the hardest fight ever. Like, I'm training for my fight to be the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, and that's the mindset I'm having. Even though I don't exactly believe that, I feel like I know I'm gonna dominate. But I also, when I train, I'm training knowing this is going to be the toughest challenge of my life. And I am fully prepared. And that being said, that's the end of the podcast. My name is Kumiv. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far into a fucking lame-ass episode with me just talking to myself, I appreciate it. Thank you. And goodbye.